Mikel, a very eventful game. How did you see it?
Well, I'm very disappointed because I cannot accept my team to play the way we did for certain periods in the first half, the goals that we conceded, because what I expect is the team to play the level that we showed afterwards, which we played incredibly well. We should have scored 6 or 7 goals. But we are all the time on the verge because we have two phases. And the first phase is about giving goals to the opponent and not doing what we have to do, and it's not good enough.
Alexandre Lacazette came out afterwards and said that they didn't respect the game plan, your players didn't respect it. How frustrating is it for you that you know they can play to a high level, but they don't?
I don't know. The first goal, it can happen. It's a really good combination. They do that. They play that channel ball. There is 2 actions. They have players in the box. It's got a brilliant goal. It's fine. Up to that, it's fine. The way we consider the second one is unacceptable. The third goal is unacceptable. And we still give them one more after the throw-in in the last day. We give them the throw-in and they hit the post. And it's too much margins because then you have to score 6 every game. For the rest, the attitude, the desire that we showed and the togetherness that we showed, because at 3-0 is really difficult to do what we've done. But I have no doubts because we talked about it and I can see every day the energy and the cohesion that the players have. And we get it really close to winning. I think we deserve to win it at the end. But the first pass really worries me.
There were moments as well in that first 30 minutes where the goals were conceded and the energy wasn't there. How do you explain the moments where they switched off, especially for the free kick?
Unacceptable, because we talked about that all the time, but it happens. I don't know if it's hangover from Europe, tired, you lose your focus, the game is taking over because you are losing. I don't know what it is. It wasn't only 1 or 2 players, there were more that switched off on the case. So we have to correct that dramatically, quickly.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang made his way back into the starting lineup today. He looked slightly uncomfortable on the right to begin with. In hindsight, is that something that you wanted to address? He did switch back?
Well, with the way we wanted to play, it made all the sense for him to play there. But obviously, we didn't have the ball. We didn't win any duels. Everything it was long ball, second ball, and it wasn't our game. And then he could not have any influence in the game. When we started to play a little bit, I decided to switch them because as well we were having some issues on that side defensive-wise, and we were more stable. Not because of this, because we started to do what we had to do.
Those positives that you talk about, you said the mentality to get back into the game when you are 3-0 down. Also, one of them, Chambers, on the right-hand side, he was described by Jamie Carragher as Cafu-like.
No, he was really good. He's been training really well. It's a player that gives us something else. He gives us some height as well in the backline, which we need with the team that we have at the moment. And he was superb. He was really efficient in the final third as well. So I think he had a great performance.
Okay, thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Well, Alexander, a hell of a game, a brilliant comeback, not the 3 points in the end, but how would you assess that?
My feeling is mixed between proud of my team because we came back in the second half and disappointed with the first half we did, 30-35 minutes, where we didn't respect the game plan from the coach and free goal for them. So this is not what we wanted, but we have to think about it in 2 weeks.
2 potential goals for you. The first one ruled as an own goal in the end, but you got your one in the end, the second goal, and it was the equaliser. It was an important one, wasn't it?
Well, I think the first goal is mine.
It was given as an own goal, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
That's not nice, but yeah. At the end, I scored the third goal in the second half. We come back for the draw.
How much credit does Callum Chambers deserve for his impact in the game today?
A lot of credit because he came back from a big injury. He worked a lot in training, individual as well. And when he have some time from the coach, he showed that he deserves to play for Arsenal. So I'm really happy for him, and I hope the best for him for the season. You
said you didn't respect the game plan from the coach. Why did we see that today?
I don't know, maybe we had the pressure because we knew it was a big game. This is where we have to improve as well. So, we have to work a lot about this to be ready for the end of the season.
Is it frustrating as well, those goals that came in quick succession for West Ham in the first half? A couple of those opportunities where perhaps the team weren't fully switced on?
Yeah, really disappointed, and it's really complicated when we do this kind of game, this kind of different half time. So we need to, like I said, we need to work a lot to improve for the end of the season.
Did you feel there were a couple of opportunities as well, one for you where you felt pulled back?
Yeah. I think even with the bad first half we did, we could come back and score more. But this is football. We can't be perfect. We have to still work a lot every day in training to win this kind of game.
That's a game of mixed emotions for you. How do you feel now?
Disappointed. You know, going 3-0 up and then, you know, dropping back, not having the confidence to go and get another goal. You know, I think second half we could have finished it off. We missed a couple of chances, and you know, if we want to be fighting for top four, I think we need to be putting them away and just having the confidence to play.
Is that all it's down to, confidence, with the moments where you kind of switched off? Because we saw it from Arsenal as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we start like that, it's you know, we need to carry on as a team and kick on from there and go and get more goals. You know, I felt like we dropped off a bit, and you know, obviously they had a little bit more possession, and you know, coming in at 3-1, it makes things difficult. You know, second half we need to start quick, and you know, Lacazette's nearly scored. You know, in the first 10 seconds of the second half. So you know, it's a lapse in concentration and focus, I think. There
was a moment as well this side where John Moss stopped playing. You were just about to break, and it looked like, especially David Moyes was rather frustrated with it.
Yeah. You know, we was obviously through on goal, you know, 2v1 me and Saeed. I'm not sure why he stopped it. He said there was a head injury, but not, you know, none of the players went down. So, you know, I have to take it back, but, you know, we can't rely on things like that when we could have put the game to bed.
It might be quite difficult to reflect on it now because you were 3-0 up, but you played a big part in that, your goal and your assist as well, and the quick to think on your feet and to take that free kick as quickly as you did. Can you look back at that and think, look, I missed the game against Manchester United, I had to, but I came back with a bang?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm just trying to help the team, you know, any which way I can, and you know, like I say, it's a team game. You know, everyone's, you know, disappointed in the dressing room. You know, I feel like we should have come away with the 3 points, and you know, we have to move on and pick ourselves up and take the positives.
Does it show how far this team has come that you are very disappointed about losing out to an Arsenal side, and it's you guys that are knocking on top four?
100%. You know, like I say, for the past, you know, 5-6 games, I feel like the focus and concentration has been there, and you know, as a group we've stuck together through the difficult, you know, periods of the game, and you know, today, like I say, it's a little bit of lapse in concentration, and you know, we should have put the game to bed.
Okay, thank you, Jessie.
Interesting admission, actually, talking about how the players hadn't respected the coach's wishes in that first half performance.
No, I don't think he means not respect. I think that's just his translation in the way he's translated. I think that he was more saying that they just didn't execute the game plan, whatever the boss asked for them to do. And you could see that in the first 30, 35 minutes, like he said. Arsenal were nowhere near it, and it was a testament to West Ham that they did punish them. They took the chances when the chances came. You could see, especially with the second goal. But in the end, I think that the character that they showed was magnificent. Chambers, Martin Odegaard, somebody that they do need to make sure that they make that signing if they can.
Yeah.
Because he really did come to the fore today.
It was chalk and cheese from Arsenal, wasn't it, to the first half performance?
It's amazing. Well, sometimes as a manager, I just said that he didn't make no change at half-time, but sometimes as a manager you go in and go, well, look, listen, you got us in this mess. I'm giving you 10 minutes to get us out of it, or, you know, give us a bit of a chance of getting out of it. And I think that because it was 3-1, you often hear 2-0 as a difficult scoreline. Well,
Is it, though?
Well, because you don't know whether to stick or twist here. You know, you don't know whether to go for it. And mentally, I think, West Ham dropped off. And as Ian said, Odegaard got on the ball, and he was fantastic. You know, there's lots of talk about him, but he actually drove Arsenal back into that game.
You spoke about that before the game, how he's becoming a growing influence.
Well, the thing is, what you want to see from him is a player that has got unbelievable potential and ability. And you want to see him in a game like that where, you know, he's going to be in the meat and bones of a game where he's got to pick the ball up and does what he does. He wants the ball and he plays it. He's very efficient with it. And he done it in a game where Arsenal needed it. We needed to be able to get the ball into somebody who can keep it in that area, get the movement off of him. And like we saw in so many occasions, he chose the right pass. Fantastic play today.
Alan, one observation you made, at half-time, considering Arsenal were second best for much of the first half, Mikel Arteta, interestingly, decided not to make any changes.
Yeah.
Does he deserve credit for that now?
Yeah. I think sometimes, you know, you can be rash. He could have gone and made 3 changes. He could have took anyone off, couldn't he? Except Odegaard. He could have took anyone off because they were so bad, wasn't they, in that first half? defensively and going the other way. It was just... I've never seen an Arsenal team play that bad, you know, for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But they got that important goal, didn't they, which give them a little bit of a lifeline. And as I said, he's probably said, look, you got us in this mess. You go out there and you've got 10 minutes, unless I'm bringing people on.
Yeah.
And he got the response. Because they dominated the second half.
They certainly did. Yeah, it was almost virtually from kick-off to the second half. Lacazette had a chance in on goal. Ian, how good a chance was this?
Well, it's a very good chance. You know, it's similar to what happened. You know, he gets his shot off, keeper fouls him. I'm thinking, is that a penalty like the one against Tottenham? But apparently they've changed that. So, but this is a very good chance. You know, he doesn't get as much as he'd like on it, but once he got pulled back there, then he got the keeper kicked him. So you're thinking on 2 occasions, watch, he gets pulled back there, he gets on it, but the keeper fouls him there. And, you know, what I'm seeing is, you know, there's a foul there. You know, could have easily been given, similar to Sanchez, but it's not given. And, you know, we move again.
Alan, your reading of that? I mean, I want to add at this point, it hasn't been changed, the ruling. It's just been reviewed since then.
Last week's one shouldn't have been, just like I shouldn't be talking about that one. It's just like something that's just come in now.
But I'm staying away from that. I think great bit of defending.
Yeah.
We haven't spoke about Diop because, you know, it was a great ball over the top. Yeah. And he reacted. He thought, well, the keeper's coming out, I'm going to get on the line. And he got on the line and cleared it. So a great bit of defending.
Yeah. But that was the important thing, wasn't it? Is that the fact that Arsenal attacked from the off from that second.
Well, they did because they had no choice. I was hoping that they could get something so as they can get themselves going once they sat down in there at half-time. And then, you know, once they came out, you knew that they had so much more to give. And I'm sure that West Ham would have known that Arsenal were going to come for them in the second half, and they did.
I just wonder how much David Moyes will want to reflect on this one key moment. West Ham were breaking. This was when they were 3-1 up. The advantage, however, wasn't played by John Moss.
I don't think I've seen a referee come over and apologise, because it looked like he went over to Moyes.
Absolutely ridiculous
and
decisions.
apologised because it's a foul against Antonio, but he's laid it off. Jessie Lingard's in. Is he going to play Benrahma in? But then David Moyes started complaining about it, and he went over and explained it and basically said to him, I think...
Oh, we see it here, I think, actually.
I got that wrong. You know...
That reaction is acknowledgement.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough. You can't get that wrong simply because of what's happened for West. You can't get that decision wrong. So, you know, look at his reaction. You can see, what's David Moyes supposed to say? OK, then thanks, yeah. No, you don't get that wrong. You shouldn't get that wrong.
To counter that, did West Ham not get the rub of the green in the first half from where that free kick was taken from when they scored their second goal, perhaps? Well,
the thing is, I think that you say, did it get the rub of the green? The ball wasn't moving. The ball was actually further back to where it was, so... Was it an advantage? If they put it back to where it was, it don't make any difference. 2 yards, yes, they could have stopped it.
I think it'd be interesting if Mikel Arteta says anything about that, because let's not forget it was bad professionalism from the Arsenal players. They all turned their back, but I think a lot of them was waiting for the ball to be placed, the referee to mark it and then march out to 10 yards. They all turned their back on it
because they weren't quite ready for it, were they?
And Jessie Lingard went boom, and the keepers fell all over it. It's a terrible goal.
And we'll get back to the first half action in a short while. But then, of course, Arsenal continued their comeback through a man who's been brilliant, really, for West Ham since he's come in, Craig Dawson. It was no goal from him, but unfortunately. But that foul in the build-up, actually. I
think you give handball there, but like this pass here, brilliant ball. But Chambers, who was magnificent today, come in again, surprise.
This was given for handball.
There, I think he's giving it for handball.
I like what Lacazette does, though.
Just bam, puts his hand on it.
He's off.
And then, you know, what you see Chambers, who was, you know, he's brilliant today going down that right side. And that is just the ball put into the area and hope that someone gets on the end of it, can go in off a defender.
And you know what, Ian, that's why, you know, people criticise David because sometimes he's a little bit negative.
Yeah.
They'd be so disappointed that Benrahma hasn't run back with Chambers.
Yeah, exactly, of course he will.
You know, because he stopped. And that's the sort of thing... And when you're looking about perhaps being offensive, and then you see that, you wonder why, you know, he don't...
How do they get back in it? Yeah, those are the little things.
Just get your thoughts on the handball that was given there. Could Jarrod Bowen have done anything else than take his arm away from that
I think John Moss has probably said, this is not a foul. You know, you're on your way down, you're stumbling, and you've accidentally handballed it. It's handball, and he's given the foul. I think maybe a different situation when David comes out, because I think he's going to remember one or two things in this game.
He'll be picking up on these.
Absolutely, because you look at this, he's falling down, and there. There's not much in it, but what can you do? What can you do? You know, the referees seem to give it a foul, and in the end, like you see Ben Rama stop there. But Chambers, credit to him, just put it in the danger area, and brilliant from Arsenal.
Talk about Chambers. It's only his second Premier League start of the season. He set up 2 of the goals.
Yeah.
How did you think he fared today?
Oh, he's magnificent.
Do we see a side of his game that's not often talked about?
No, because we're talking about somebody who's just come back from, not long come back from an ACL, you know, and that is tough. It's tough to come back from that kind of injury. He's been working hard. You heard Lacazette saying about how hard he's been working. And what's great about Mikel Arteta is that he'll give you a chance. And he's giving him a chance. And, you know, like I said, the Burnley game, he is brilliant. Same thing with this game, he's come in and he's staking a claim. And that's what Arsenal need. They need that kind of player, is in the backup position, who'll come in and do a job like that. It's brilliant today.
And we heard from Lacazette. Let's have a look at the goal that really meant that, in the end, the points were to be shared. I have to say, from Pepe's perspective, the substitute, not a bad cross, this, from his weaker side.
It's a wonderful cross.
Great cross.
Absolutely wonderful cross. And, you know, Lacazette's just got to get it on target, because he's took the goalkeeper out of the game and the centre-halves. Odegaard again, perfectly weighted ball.
Lovely.
Wonderful cross.
There's a lot of quality in that, Curve, simply because you see where Odegaard's picked the ball up there. You know, somebody that we needed for many years to be doing this. This is what Ozil was meant to be doing for us. He's got the ball in there, and it's the pass, Pepe, to be able to not touch or do anything, just get it in. And that is what you need. Somebody with that kind of composure and that area of the field is going to give you that kind of quality.
Yeah. So let's try and make sense of this, because at half-time when Arsenal were 3-1 down, you quite rightly mentioned the fact that they were in Europe in midweek. 5 of the same starters featured in that 11 today. But they turned that on its head in many respects, didn't they, by completing that comeback?
Yeah, simply because they had no choice. Otherwise, it could have been very embarrassing. Could you imagine if they carried on playing...
Yeah, but having a choice is one thing, and allowing fatigue to set in is another.
Yeah, but you say allowing fatigue to set in, but we saw in the second half that that didn't have nothing to do with anything in the end. You have to start the game like that. You know, that's why he rested some players. That's why they come in, because if you're a top team mentally, you have to be prepared for that. It's not a case of, oh, you let fatigue. Fatigue is there. And that is why they changed the team around, so they could bring someone in so it can help you to offload the fatigue, and so you've got players who are going to help you. They just didn't start well in the first half. The second half, they showed the same players. Like you say, I reckon after 10 minutes, you could say, well, we're going to take some off. We're going to take you off in 10 minutes if you don't. All of a sudden, everybody started to play. Yeah. You can find that. That's in you. If you're getting tired, then the boss will take you off. But you can't start like that. It's terrible, terrible mentality.
And will the players be in that Arsenal dressing room right now thinking that's more than just a point?
Yeah, and I think they'll be kicking themselves because of the way they started. And then, on the same side of it, West Ham players will be sitting there thinking, we were 3 up. And was it a consequence of West Ham dropping off and Arsenal getting into the game again? And as we're saying, we keep talking about the boy Odegaard. He started to run the show, and he was getting a lot of space and a lot of time, and he made West Ham pay.
Yeah.